that was kind of the mental battle, was like trying to get over that aspect, like don't think about it, don't worry about it, like you put all the time in that you can to be in the best position you are, and I feel great. So I think my mentality coming in was just to play really, really hard. Like I think this is such a different scenario for me rather than the WNBA season. It's like when a lot is kind of on my shoulders to create and do a lot of things. Obviously here it's surrounded with 11 other players that are so talented and people that have won gold medals. So my focus was just play really fast, play up tempo. I know that's what I'm good at and what I can bring to this team. And people finished really well. We ran the floor well, and then people made a lot of good shots.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to TFD. So let's talk about Caitlin Clark and USA basketball, because there's been a lot of conversation surrounding her performance and the impact she's having. Clark has been with the team for a couple of months now, and during Media Day, she answered a lot of questions about her game, her role, and how things have been going with the national team. But after watching that game, I've got to be honest, in my opinion, she kind of got robbed when it came to player of the game. Ryan Howard ended up getting the recognition. And don't get me wrong, Howard played well. But if you really look at the numbers, Clark was right there with her in scoring, only a few points behind, while also dishing out around 10 more assists and doing it in fewer minutes on the floor. The plus-minus was basically the same too, which makes the argument even stronger. And honestly, Clark played so well that it might even have a bigger impact beyond just this game. Her performance could actually influence the ongoing discussions around the Women's National Basketball Association collective bargaining agreement. When a player is generating this much excitement and attention, it reminds everyone just how much the league is growing. Clark continues to prove why so many people are watching right now. And let's take a listen here to what she said. Clark dishes near record 12 dimes on USA debut. The superstar guard wasted no time in showing her skills on opening night in San Juan. San Juan, Puerto Rico. Caitlin Clark made an instant impression on the senior international stage with USA after handing out 12 assists on opening night of the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2026 qualifying tournament. Here said the guard. Delivered against expectations in a 110-46 triumph against Senegal women's national basketball team, racking up the second most dimes by a player in competition history, while also adding 17 points in an eye-catching debut. Here said Clark, "When you're out there, just compete as hard as you can. You give everything you've got, okay?" Only chart topper Siyu Wong of China has ever handed out more assists. "I think I was just trying to get everybody else involved," explained Clark on the final buzzer. Here said, "I know that's what I can kind of bring this team, getting easy shots for everybody else. That's what I take a lot of pride in. I just want to make it easy for everybody else. And I know that's what Coach Kara Lawson wants too. So I just try to come in and play as fast as I can, play up-tempo. It's not like any of us are going to be playing 35 minutes. When you're out there, just compete as hard as you can. You give everything you've got." I think that was kind of my mentality coming in. And then, honestly, people finished really well around the rim. And then, we made quite a few shots from the front, added the guard. Literally second all-time. And ironically, third all-time was today. She played 19 minutes. Because the performance she put together in such limited minutes really says a lot about the kind of player she is and the kind of impact she brings to the floor. First off, the stat that really jumps out is the assists. Clark recorded one of the highest assist totals we've ever seen in a Team USA performance in such a short amount of time, literally second all-time in that category, and ironically, the third highest mark happened today as well. And the crazy part about all of this is that she only played about 19 minutes in the game. 19 minutes! That's not even half of a full game, and she was still able to control the flow of the offense in a way that completely changed how Team USA looked. What really stood out, though, was what she said immediately after the game. Right away, she started talking about pushing the tempo and playing fast. That's always been the core of Clark's game. If you've watched her throughout her career, you know she thrives when the pace is high, when the ball is moving, and when defenses don't have time to set up. But here's where it gets interesting. When you listen to some of the coaching discussions around the team, especially comments tied to Stephanie White, there has been some hesitation about always playing at that speed. White has talked in the past about wanting Clark to sometimes slow things down and manage the offense more traditionally. Basically, play under control and pick the moments to accelerate. And Clark herself has hinted at that dynamic too. She's basically said that sometimes she just has to trust her instincts and play the way she knows how to play. That means pushing the pace, getting the ball up the floor quickly, and putting pressure on the defense before they're ready. You could see that mentality clearly in this game. From the moment she checked in, the tempo changed. The ball started moving quicker. Players were running the floor harder, and suddenly the entire offense looked more dynamic. One of the biggest beneficiaries of that was Ryan Howard. Howard ended up putting up a solid scoring performance, and some people pointed to her as the standout player. But if you actually watched the game closely, a lot of those scoring opportunities were created directly by Clark. Over and over again, Clark was the one finding Howard open in the corner or hitting her in stride for clean looks. That's the thing about Clark's game that sometimes doesn't show up fully in the box score. Yes, she can score. Everyone knows that. But the way she manipulates defenses and creates open shots for teammates is on another level. Even when a teammate misses a shot, the play often starts with Clark creating the opportunity in the first place. And she made it very clear in her post-game comments that facilitating is something she enjoys. She talked about wanting to get everyone involved, wanting to push the pace, and wanting to make life easier for the players around her. That's exactly what you want to hear from a point guard leading a team like this. Now, let's be real for a second. Caitlin Clark isn't going to dominate every game. That's just not how basketball works. There are going to be nights where she looks unstoppable, nights where she struggles, and nights where she's just average. That happens alone forces defenses to react differently. Teams have to worry about her shooting range, her passing vision, and her ability to push the pace in transition. More often than not, that means other players end up benefiting from her playmaking. That's why it's interesting to think about how she might fit alongside other elite guards on Team USA. For example, imagine playing with someone like Chelsea Gray. Traditionally, Gray is a primary ball handler who likes to control the offense. But when you play with Clark, the dynamic changes. The positive side of playing with Clark is that you're probably going to get a lot of open shots. She pushes the ball up the floor quickly, she sees passing lanes that other players don't see, and she's constantly looking for teammates who are running the floor. The downside, if you want to call it that, is that Clark naturally becomes the main ball handler. That means other guards might spend more time off the ball. But if those players are willing to run the floor and move without the ball, the rewards can be huge. Some people have tried to compare Clark's style to Luka Doncic, but the comparison isn't perfect. Doncic tends to control the game in the half court with slower, methodical possessions. Clark is almost the opposite. She thrives in chaos. She wants the ball moving quickly, players cutting, dribble handoffs happening, and constant motion across the floor. Even in the half-court offense during this game, you could see that philosophy. There wasn't a lot of standing around or slow isolation plays. Instead, there were quick passes, handoffs, and constant motion. Clark's off-ball movement also looked better than it has at times in the past. She's still developing that part of her game, but there were moments where she cut into space, relocated after passes, and created additional options for the offense. And again, all of this happened in just 19 minutes. That's why some people are starting to think about a very interesting role for Clark on Team USA. It's possible that she doesn't always start games. It's also possible that she might not always be the one closing them either. But there's another role that might actually be even more dangerous for opposing teams. Imagine Clark coming into the game when things are still open and the pace is fluid. Early in the second quarter or the third quarter when teams are still trying to find their rhythm. That's when her ability to speed the game up can completely blow things open. If Team USA ever gets off to a slow start, Clark could be the spark that changes everything. Suddenly, the pace increases, players start running, and within a few minutes, the lead can rapidly grow. That kind of impact player can completely shift the momentum of a game. And honestly, looking at how she played in this performance, it's clear that Clark is capable of being exactly that. Even if she's only playing around 20 minutes per game, those minutes could end up being the most important stretches of the entire game. So overall, this performance was another reminder of just how unique Caitlin Clark is as a player. Her ability to control tempo, create shots for teammates, and change the rhythm of a game makes her incredibly valuable to Team USA. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about Clark's performance and her role with Team USA. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment,